Hi, I am your host, Leonette Talley, and you are listening to Virago 24/7. Virago is Latin for female warrior, and 24/7 is for all day, every day. Virago 24/7 is a weekly podcast that brings diverse women together to talk about life and our experiences in this world. We share our views on self-love, mental health, marriage, children, friendships, and really anything that needs to be talked about. Here, you will find everyday growth, everyday healing with everyday warriors. Just give me my space to move. 'Cause it's my thoughts, what I want, and I want what I want. This is Leonette. I am here, 2022. I know I'm a few days behind to wish you all a Happy New Year. This song keeps playing in my head. I don't know why, because it's more of a birthday song, but I've been singing to myself, Happy New Year to ya. Happy New Year to ya. Happy New Year. Okay, anyways, I'm really, really crazy. But that's been playing in my head, even though it's a birthday song for all those of you that know that song. But anyways, hello. I know it's taken me some time to get back into the swing of things with Virago 24/7. I've been a little bit MIA, a little bit distracted, a little bit unmotivated to record, and I'm not going to apologize. I beat myself up so much. I think we all do. We beat ourselves up so much when we're on this track of doing something, and then life gets in the way, or emotions get in the way, and we kind of veer off path. Then we beat ourselves up and we're unkind to ourselves. And that's what I've been doing by not keeping on track with posting and recording. And I had to tell myself, calm down, it's going to be okay. Be kinder to yourself. And that's what I want to do this year, is be kind to myself and not beat myself up over things that are really not that, not a matter of life or death. I think we think a lot of things are a matter of life or death, but if we sit down and think about it, they really are not. So, not to put my business out there, but I had a little cosmetic surgery back in the beginning of December. I have 3 kids, and my chest area has gotten, with every child, got bigger and bigger. And I hear stories of women saying that they deflate after a few years, but mine never deflated. Mine kept growing and growing with each child. And then after that, they sagged. And I decided I'm tired of carrying these sacks on my chest. They're uncomfortable. They get in the way. And so I pulled the trigger and had a lift and a reduction. So I've been really focusing on that and not really in the mood to record and talk and post and all those things. So I've been recovering. I feel good. And there we are. Now you know my business. So I want to talk about today resolutions versus goals. The word resolutions, if you ask me, actually never, ever, ever ask me what my resolutions are, because the answer is I don't believe in resolutions. And I never knew why, so I went to my favorite place to gather information, which is Google, and looked up the definition for resolution and looked up the definition for goal. And I'm like, that is why I don't like resolutions, because they mean nothing. So I believe in goals. I set goals every year. I set my personal goals. My husband, Philip, sets his personal goals. And then we come together as a couple and we set couples goals, family goals, and whatever goals that we want to accomplish together. So resolutions is a firm decision to do or not do something. A goal, the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. Goals are more specific and they have action behind them. Resolutions are statements of intention, while goals are statements of commitment. So I don't think that I figured everything out when it comes to goals, but I can tell you this from experience that they work. And one of my biggest things is writing things down. I have a very scattered mind, very scattered brain. And I'm impressed by like when I go to a restaurant and waiters and waitresses that can just get the whole tables, like what they want to drink and what they want to eat without writing it down. I'm always so impressed. And I always say, oh my gosh, that's freaking impressive. Because me and the way my mind works, I have to write everything down. I will forget. I will ignore. It would slip my mind. And so I write everything down. And goals, I'm telling you, if you write them down and you're specific and you look at them and you have a plan and there's intention behind it, my gosh, the things that we can accomplish if we just set our minds to it. And we've set financial goals and personal goals, like career goals, like my husband, Philip, with his dental business. And once he retires, I put that in quotes because he's never going to retire, but there's going to be a time or a day where he stops using his hands and actually goes into an office. What is he going to do? So even down to vacations, how many vacations? Because in the past, it was, 1 or 2 weeks a year that he was able to get off. And then, we sat down and made goals of what the ideal vacation for the year would look like. And these goals, honestly, may not even happen within that same year that you come up with them and write them down, but they're there and you can move them on to the next year. And with each goal, you get closer and closer and closer until bam, you accomplish them. And it becomes like a surreal feeling like, like now, like we've accomplished it. It's happening now. Now what? Like, this is so cool. And so that's where I am in life, where we set these goals and they happen. And then I'm at this point this year where I haven't even set goals yet. I texted Philip today and it was like, okay, let's go have dinner so we can talk about our goals for the year and write them down and see, where we are. And for my personal ones, I haven't figured it out yet. In past years, I knew like exactly what I wanted. And I think for me this is not a goal that is like concrete or I'm going to see like results from it. But one big one, like I said in the beginning, is being kinder to myself and just being okay with just being. I was thinking about my life and I feel like maybe since I was born, I don't know, it's just always go, 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 move, move, move. Having a child young, you just don't have time to think and you're building a family and then you get married. It's like go, 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 go. And finally, I've come to a point in life where it's like stillness. And I don't know what to do with it because in our culture, stillness means laziness. Stillness means that you don't have your crap together, lack of ambition, whatever negative words people like to use for people that are just being still. So yeah, that's ingrained in my head. And this is the one time in my life where I feel stillness and not really knowing what to do with that. This podcast has been awesome for me. It's been something that I've always wanted to do. And it was one of my goals for 2020. And, here we are. And of course, I have goals for this. Like I said, I haven't written them down, but I'm going to be very specific with the goals for the podcast. But outside of this, other than that, like in my personal life, it's the first time where it's like, I'm not running somewhere. I'm not having to go, 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 go. The kids are getting older and it's just, what are my goals going to be now where things are kind of quiet? And maybe my goal is to be more still and be happy in that and be okay in that. And I don't know. I'll let you all know how that goes throughout the year. But it's just a awesome place to be. I'm very grateful to be in this space. It's something that I've always wanted, and here I am, and I don't even know what to do with it. So it's just interesting how, yeah, life is. And I would love to know other people's journey when it comes to goals. Like, do you guys set them? Is it something that you don't even think about? Like I said, resolutions are whack, and we should throw those out the window and talk about goals versus, saying resolutions. Because I feel like resolutions is something that we come up with it, and then there's like no concrete plan or a map put out before us. And so once we quote unquote fail the first time, we're like, oh, and then we just go back to our own crazy, like our old crazy lives the way they were, because we beat ourselves up, going back to beating ourselves up and being unkind to ourselves. It's okay to fall off the wagon, I guess. We say that here in the U.S., fall off the wagon, and it's okay. And let's just all learn just to be a little kinder to ourselves and be okay with not being so perfect. So resolutions out the door. I found a Forbes article, and it breaks down how to set goals. And when I was reading it, I was like, okay, cool. This is what I do. And it works. Like I said, it really, really, really works. And it's so fulfilling. I'm the kind of person that I get very overwhelmed. Like I said, if everything is just in my head, I have to write everything down. Even if it's like simple to-do lists, I have to write it down. I have to check it off. I feel so accomplished and so amazing. Even if it's like, I'm doing laundry today. Boom. Once I'm done folding that last shirt, oh, it feels amazing. Oh, I'm going shopping today. Oh, I go shopping, I bring it back. I put it, like, even little things like that, I have to write down so that I feel like, okay, I did something for the day. So in this Forbes article of setting goals, it says, be specific. The more specific you can be when breaking down your goals, the more likely you'll accomplish them. When goals are broken down into manageable and measurable pieces, you'll be able to track your progress and stay focused. So, like I said, I write everything down, and sometimes, I don't know how specific I am, but, for example, being debt-free, that's always been something that Philip and I wanted to do. And we started the journey, I think, probably 10 years ago. And yeah, of course, most of us are not going to be debt free in 1 year, depending on how big debt is. Ours was pretty big. And just piece by piece, little by little, year by year, trying to figure out what that map is. So the broad goal was be debt free. And then every year we would set like the specific of like what we were going to knock off our list for that year. The next on this Forbes article is keep your goals someplace visible. The more time you spend seeing your goals, the easier it will be to keep up the progress you're making with accomplishing them. And they had more to say about, putting it somewhere where you see it every day. I necessarily don't do that. I don't see it every day, but I have tons of journals. I'm obsessed with journals. Some are empty, some are full, some are almost full. But I have them everywhere. And so I know where to go to look at them. And I look at them every few months. I don't look at them every day or every other day or weekly, probably every few months. And Philip and I, our goals that we have together, we look at them obviously in the beginning when we talk about them, and then in the middle of the year, and then coming towards the end of the year, we see like where we are. And we love to do it over dinner. So it's not like this, like, let's sit down and have this meeting about our goals. We have fun with it. I'll take my little notebook to a restaurant and we order great wine and good food. And it just makes the process so much more fun. One thing with Philip, he's very business-like when it comes to like sitting down. Like our wedding, oh my gosh. I wanted to choke him because him and I planned it by ourselves, and he gets so very professional and very all right, let's talk. And I'm like, I don't roll that way. I want to be more relaxed. And so it took some time to go from the boardroom to the restaurant where, where it was more relaxed atmosphere. I'm like, why does everything have to feel so tense? I'm a free soul and a free spirit. I don't need to be tied down to a table in our house, making it like a business meeting. So make it fun, especially if you're doing it with your spouse, partner, or whoever is holding, you accountable to your goals. The next on the list, turn your resolution into a goal. So if you have a resolution, turn it into a goal. Start with something broad. Once you've narrowed this down, set it as your main goal, then create a series of smaller milestone goals that will help you achieve your big goal. Get as specific as possible and outline all of the smaller steps you'll find. Let me go back. Get as specific as possible and outline all of the smaller steps you'll need to take to reach your full goal. This is the key to success. The next one is choose no more than 3 goals to work on at a time. The fewer goals, the better. And it says the fewer goals you're working on at once, the better. If you try to do too much at once, you'll end up getting overwhelmed, which can hinder your progress. This in turn can lead to feelings of frustration and decreased motivation, and ultimately can lead to you abandoning the goals you've set because you aren't seeing any progress. So I suffer with that because I get so excited. And I remember 2020. Normally, like I said, we put a bunch of goals on there and we see what we can get done within that year. I don't necessarily get overwhelmed with the goals that I set with my husband if there's a lot, because there's 2 of us and I feel like we can conquer it together. Now, my personal goals, I get carried away sometimes, and it is very true that you get very overwhelmed. So my goals for 2020, oh my gosh, were, I don't have it in front of me, but one of them was the podcast. And listen, I had just turned 40, the end of 2019, November 2019. So I was like so excited. I'm like, this is the new decade. I'm going to rule this decade, and many, many fabulous things are going to happen. So podcast was on there, working out 3 to 4 days a week, reading 1 book a month, because I used to be a huge reader when I was younger. And then when I got older, I just kind of stopped reading. And I know there's a lot of you that probably laughed at that 1 book a month, because I'm sure you read 3, 4, 5 books in 1 month or maybe in 1 week. But I was like, baby steps, let's do that. I'm obsessed with HGTV. I'm obsessed with decorating our house, our personal home. And I'm like, how do I get into that without having to really go to school? So like interior decorating, and I love wine. So I've thought about, maybe I should open my own like wine boutique, not really wine store, but like a little boutique, and kind of coming up with ideas. So that was all on the list. And I remember talking to one of my brothers, and they knew that I wanted to do the podcast, but I was reading my goals to him, and he's like, yeah, you should start with just one. You can't be an interior decorator, a wine store owner, and a podcaster all at once, especially when you've done none of them. And I'm like, you're right. So it was really sweet that he helped me pick one. He's like, which one is most important? I said, the podcast. He said, run with that. And I'm very thankful to my brother who told me to focus on one and worry about the other ones later, because he knew, I'm sure he did not read this Forbes article, but he knew that too many would be overwhelming. So thank you for that. At the end, it says working towards just 1 or 2 goals is optimal because it's easier to maintain your focus. You'll see more tangible results, which will increase your motivation to keep going and working until you've turned those goals into achievements. And those achievements feel so good. And like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't have a degree in goal setting. I don't think I'm an expert at it, but gosh damn, I am proof that if you write things down and if you have a partner that is willing to work with you, my gosh, the things that you can accomplish just by writing things down, reading them, absorbing them, putting plans and even the plan, they're just writing it down. How are we going to get there? and making it fun. It shouldn't be so stressful and so like, oh my gosh. And like I said, be kind to yourself. I didn't do the podcast towards the end of the year because I just wasn't motivated. I don't know why I wasn't motivated. It doesn't matter. I wasn't motivated. I was beating myself up. And then I realized why. Who cares? No one's sitting around near their phone or the podcast app waiting for Leonette to drop a show. So it's like, calm down. It's going to be okay. You do it when you do it. So I just wanted to share that. And I'm so excited to be back on track. I'm motivated. So many shows coming, hopefully. I only have a few set up. But we shall see what 2022 is going to bring all of us. I would love to hear people's goals and you know, I love when people reach out to me, those that have my phone number, those that have my personal email. I love when you guys reach out. It's so cool. It's like, oh, they're listening. And then I get some feedback on, you know, what they're doing with their lives. So Virago247podcast@gmail.com is my podcast professional email. If you want to drop some lines and just honestly, how do you guys set up goals? What do you guys think about resolutions? Let's have that conversation and let's set our goals for this year and let's make it the best one for all of us. All right, guys, I will end with this quote. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the bullshit story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. Thank you so much for listening to Virago 24/7. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and please give us 5-star ratings. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Virago24_7 and on Facebook at Virago24/7 and just connect with us and share your story. We'd love to hear from you.